as we're going green next time by here at Red Cedar Speedway. Justin Peck, Kyle Larson in row 1, Tanner Thorson, Rico Abreu in row number 2, Daison Pursley and Chase Randall in row 3, Aaron Reutzel, Ayrton Gennetten in row 4, Casey Kahne and Brent Marks in row number 5, Austin McCarl and Brad Sweet row 6, row 7, Anthony Macri and Cy Lynch, row 8 is Spencer Bayston and Danny Sams, row 9, Brenham Crouch and Tyler Courtney, row 10, Max Guilford, Corey Day, then Joe Myers, Austin Hartmann, Luke Nellis, and Jeremy Snow. Red Cedar Speedway, we got them racked, we got them stacked, and we've got the grandstands packed. Let's go racing on to turn number 4. We are green. Feature is green, little smoke coming out of the left side of the 26 of Justin Peck as he shows the way down the backstretch. Big move out of Tanner Thorson. He'll go by, oh, and Peck's up in smoke. Peck is off the pace. The caution flag is going to come out. Wow. Justin Peck saw a little bit of smoke out of that car, maybe thought just some oil on the headers, and went down the backstretch at full song, and then at the middle point of the backstretch just absolutely came to a stop. You'll see a replay here on the Comp Cams instant replay. Peck gets on the throttle, smoke comes out the side. We were a little bit worried there, and then coming down the backstretch, you see the car just absolutely loses power. Wow. That is, you hate to see that, Tony, for Justin Peck, who was having such a great night.
Oh, absolutely a heartbreaker. They've battled gremlins with this Ford engine. Tyler Tessmaker talked about it on After the Checkers, the challenges of developing just an underutilized power plant. So many, the vast majority of engine blocks in 410 Sprint Car Racing are Chevrolet made. And so that Ford has been a struggle for Tony Stewart Racing until they stepped away from it. And then this year it's been a challenge at times, but also a success at times for Justin Peck and Rudine Racing. But what's the saying? They run the best sometimes right before they blow up. Just a terrible time for Justin Peck.
And they are going straight back to the trailer. So terminal damage there for that number 26 machine. And that is going to be a huge hit. He was only 68 points behind Tyler Courtney in the point standings. And now he's going to drop more than likely triple digits back as we're going to go green the next time by. That's going to move Kyle Larson to the pole position and Tanner Thorson to the outside, with Rico Abreu next to Daison Pursley, row 2, Chase Randall and Aaron Reutzel, Ayrton Gennetten and Casey Kahne, then Brent Marks and Austin McCarl. Tanner Thorson looked good there on that opening corner off the bottom. We'll see if he's able to put that to good use here when we go back to green. Green lights come on. We're back underway here at Red Cedar Speedway. Kyle Larson straight to the top. Rico Abreu takes second away from Tanner Thorson. Quick move, quick work out of Abreu off the second corner, who moving to P2. Starts to chase down Kyle Larson. Remember, Abreu is the Durst Dice Roll driver here tonight. Now he's challenged down low. Tanner Thorson takes a spot back way across the line. Tanner Thorson back into the second spot. He's side by side with Abreu. Now Thorson, the bottom in turn 2 and the bottom in turn 4 appear to be very, very good for that Rod Gross Motorsports number 88 car, as he now begins to pursue the 57 of Kyle Larson rolling into turn 1. 2 laps complete, 28 to go at Red Cedar. Tanner Thorson looking for his first points-paying win with Kubota Highland Racing. Has been trying for the last 2 seasons, trying to challenge Kyle Larson down low in turn 4. Back behind the top 3, it's Chase Randall running in 4th. A side-by-side battle for 5th. Daison Pursley down low. Aaron Reutzel on the high side of the racetrack in turn number 2. Aaron Reutzel trying to crack into the top 10, but cannot get by the number 13. Back up front, Thorson is keeping Kyle Larson in check. Those two separated by just 3 car lengths rolling into turn 1. Tanner Thorson, one of the best in the country when it comes to running the bottom of the racetrack. Now working on Larson into turn 3. Caution comes out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. The cone, I'm not sure what cone, but a cone has been hit. And it is sitting in the middle of the track in turn 4. Looks like Thorson, I am not surprised by that at all. He is going to choose the bottom and essentially give up the second spot to Abreu, who will go to the top. We know that Tanner Thorson is very, very good at rolling the bottom. It just makes sense for him to go down there for this upcoming restart. Now Rico, the Durst Dice Roller, trying to hit it for the second time this year. Will line up next year race leader Kyle Larson. Coming to the green this time. Back underway. Larson gets away. Behind them, it's a scramble from fourth on back as Aaron Reutzel's going to make his way by the 13 of Daison Pursley. Move Aaron Reutzel to the top 5. Brad Sweet makes his way by Brent Marks, and Sweet's now up to 7th. Brad Sweet started outside the top 10, now cracks into the top, almost to the top 5. He's made his way by Brent Marks, and now working on Daison Pursley into turn 1. For that second spot, they're almost 3 wide. Chase Randall getting involved with Tanner Thorson and Rico Abreu. Thorson takes second into turn 3. Tanner Thorson down low, but now needs to try and rope in the number 57 of Kyle Larson. He's lost a ton of ground when he was battling with the 24 and the number 9. Aaron Reutzel now up to 5th. The next car he will encounter is the 9R of Chase Randall. Tanner Thorson slides across the nose of Rico Abreu. Thorson's got it across the line. Now chops the nose on Abreu into turn 1. Tanner Thorson back down to the bottom. Rico Abreu running the top. They keep swapping lines. They roll back into turn number 3. Rico Abreu going to elect to go to the cushion. Thorson tries to run the middle off of turn number 4. Tanner Thorson about a straightaway or half a straightaway away from your race leader. Kyle Larson about to encounter lap traffic, but none of the cars are in his racing line. They are running the bottom. Kyle is on the top. Kyle Larson now working on Jeremy Snow. Will put him a lap down off of turn number 2. So now 1 lap car between your first and second place machines. Abreu still running in 3rd. Chase Randall in 4th. Aaron Reutzel is 5th. Then Daison Pursley, Brad Sweet, Brent Marks, Kasey Kahne, and Ayrton Gennetten rounds out the top 10. Here on lap number 10. Tanner Thorson desperately trying to track down Kyle Larson. He's now had to evacuate the bottom of the racetrack. Runs the top in turns 3 and 4 in his pursuit. Here's a race going on for about the 7th spot as Larson makes his way by Joel Myers Jr. Now working on Max Guilford into turn 3. The lap cars are not an issue for Kyle Larson as we got this battle going on here as Brent Marks has made his way by Daison Pursley. Boom Marks to 7th and Kasey Kahne up to 8th. Kahne makes his way by Daison Pursley off of turn number 4. Kasey Kahne looking for his best run in a few weeks as he's made his way solidly into the top 10. Tyler Courtney's making his way forward as well. Tyler Courtney's into the top 5. Tyler Courtney started back in the 18th position. He's made his way by Ayrton Gennetten, now working on Daison Pursley into turn 1. Pursley going to go to the low side. Tyler Courtney to the top side. Might have the 9th spot off of turn number 2. Pulls side by side with the Boot Motorsports number 13. Tyler Courtney's now up to 9th. Tyler Courtney to 9th and now on the back bumper of Kasey Kahne as they roll back into turn number 1. Tyler Courtney came into this main event as the points leader. Here comes Corey Day around the outside. Corey Day from the B main working on Tyler Courtney. Gets by him into turn 3. Corey Day up into 9th. We got a car off the pace right in front of him. That's going to stack him up a little bit. Daison Pursley goes back by. Daison Pursley back by Day and Courtney. Using the lap car to his advantage right there was the number 13 car. Kyle Larson, caution. We got one spun around on the backstretch. It is Max Guilford, the 16C. Max Guilford, the car that is spun in not exactly turn 3, but the end of the back straightaway. Here on lap number 16, he was running in the 23rd position at the time of the incident for Guilford. And that is exactly what Tanner Thorson, Rico Abreu, that's what they wanted to see. There was a yellow. Those two battled a little bit too hard on the last restart, allowing Larson to get away. Well, if you're watching at home on Flow, if you're here in the grandstand, you may have seen that ambulance pull out of the infield with the lights on. We have a medical emergency in the pit area, and so we cannot continue this race until we have an ambulance that is available in the infield. So that is what is going on as we go red. And so you see the crew members making their way out to the track. And they will be adding fuel and making some adjustments to the car over there due to the red flag. May as well open it up and make it an open red flag condition. Once again, if you're just joining us on Flow, we just had a medical emergency in the pit area. And the ambulance is having to take care of that. And then once the ambulance makes its way back into the infield, we will continue this race. Cars begin to come back to life here at the Red Cedar Speedway. And so we will have 14 laps remaining here in this main event. We also need to watch for Chase Randall here. I mentioned it earlier. He's currently running in 4th, which would equal his best finish. And looks like Thorson will choose the top for the Frozen Farmer pick bind. He'll start on the outside. But Randall running 4th. His last finishes with High Limit, 14th, 39th at Port Royal, 21st, 17th, 23rd, 12th, and then 6th, but then 13th and 19th. So that team really needs a good run from the quickest chicken here tonight to get things turned back around. We're coming to green this time by 14 laps to go for Kyle Larson. Or will it be Tanner Thorson or Rico Abreu? We're about to find out. We're coming back to green this time by off of turn number 4. Larson on the gas. Not a good start on the outside for Tanner Thorson. That allows Rico Abreu to go by for that second spot. Abreu dips down low into turn 1. Pulls up to the left rear of Kyle Larson. Down the backstretch. Rico's got to run. Looking to the inside in turn 3. Slider for the top spot. Rico Abreu to the top spot in turn number 4. Rico Abreu takes the spot away. Kyle Larson back to the inside into turn 1. Might throw a slider back to Rico. He'll try and run the bottom. Cannot make it happen there. Rico pulling away down the back straightaway. Kyle Larson now back to second. Here comes Aaron Reutzel back in the third spot. He's looking underneath the Tanner Thorson. Kyle Larson tries to run the bottom in turn 4. Cannot gain ground on Rico. That time by 12 laps to go. Rico Abreu trying to win the first 3 Roto-Rooter Midweek Series races in a row. This time by Rico taps the cushion off of turn number 4. 11 laps to go for the 2-4 up front. Tanner Thorson now got that car wound up on the top side of the racetrack, and he is keeping close with Kyle Larson as they roll back into turn 3. Traffic will play a factor by the time this race is over, but most of the cars are down on the bottom. That will allow Rico to make his way to the outside. Kyle Larson closing back in down the back straightaway. This time by going to be, car around right in front of your leader. Brenham Crouch, the caution comes out for the number 5. Brenham Crouch went around right in front of the race leaders. He was running in the 19th position at the time. That cone signifying drivers cannot pass each other before that cone. They can't hit the cone. They cannot go below the cone, or it will result in a penalty. Here on the single file restart, as Aaron Reutzel on that last run, we were keeping up with the front of the field. Reutzel's up to 4th, and Brad Sweet has gotten by Chase Randall. He's into the top 5. So Abreu, Larson, Thorson, Reutzel, Sweet back to the green flag in turn number 4. Who is going to get the win tonight at Red Cedar Speedway? Rico and Kyle both go to the bottom in turn 1. Tanner Thorson trying to get going around the outside. Down the back straightaway. The top 3 are very, very close. Now Thorson sees an opening. He'll try and throw a slider on Kyle Larson into turn number 3 and 4. He'll make the pass off of turn 4. Tanner Thorson up to second now. Tanner Thorson takes second away from Kyle Larson off of turn number 4. Now tries to close in on Rico Abreu. Back behind there, 3 wide for the 4th position. Give it to Brent Marks. Marks out of nowhere's up to 4th. Larson back to the inside of Thorson. They get very close in turn number 4. Close call between the 57 and the 88. Rolling back into turn 1. Kyle Larson trying to run the bottom. Tanner Thorson around the outside. They nearly go side by side once again. Now Thorson, he'll throw a slider right back at Kyle Larson in turn 3. Great stuff for second. That allows Rico Abreu to pull away. Kyle Larson now back across the start-finish line. He's got P2 back away. 7 laps to go for your race leader, Rico Abreu. Aaron Reutzel running in 4th. Brent Marks rounds out the top 5. Behind Marks, it is Brad Sweet, then Daison, Pursley, and Spencer Bayston. Nice and slow around the bottom. He's up into the 8th position. Rico will get to the back of the field. There's about 5 laps to go this time by, as the race for 4th is getting hot and heavy between Aaron Reutzel, Brent Marks, and Brad Sweet. The cushion off of turn 4 is right on the concrete. Reutzel takes 3rd away from Tanner Thorson off of turn number 2. Thorson now slips back to 4th. Kyle Larson is closing in on Rico down the front straightaway. That time by 0.8 of a second was the race lead. Kyle Larson ran over a tractor tire down there. Down into turns 3 and 4. Rico Abreu trying to work the outside. Here comes the lap cars, and here comes Kyle Larson. 3 laps to go this time by across the line. Kyle Larson to the bottom in turn number 1. Pulls up next to Rico Abreu. Side by side for the race lead off of turn number 2. Cannot make the pass there. Car pulling into the infield is Cy Lynch. This time by 2 laps to go for Rico Abreu. Kyle Larson might see an opening in turn 1. Nope, he's going to not throw a slider, going to try and run the bottom. Larson gets sideways off the corner, not able to make the pass. This time by, going to come around to the way with a white flag at Red Cedar Speedway. 1 lap to go for Rico Abreu. Here comes Kyle Larson down the front stretch. Rolling into turn 1, gets blocked by a slower car. Abreu around the outside. He's going to maintain the race lead. Down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Rico Abreu off the cushion in turn number 4. He will sweep the first 3 midweek series races. Rico gets the win. Kyle Larson ends up in 3rd. 4th is going to go to Tanner Thorson, then Aaron Reutzel and Brad Sweet. The Durst dice roll has been claimed again, and Rico Abreu has gotten the job done by just 1/10 of a second over Kyle Larson at the finish line. Tanner Thorson 3rd, Aaron Reutzel 4th, Brad Sweet 5th, Brent Larson 6th, then Spencer Bayston, Daison, Pursley, Corey Day, and Tyler Courtney rounds out the top 10. Here he comes, Red Cedar Speedway, your winner here tonight, Rico Abreu! He has now swept the first 3 races of the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series, his 5th win of the year, and he is going to be absolutely jacked up down there in Whiskey Myers Victory Lane. Let's go downstairs to Tony Laporta.
Jacked up is a way to describe Rico Abreu, I think, at all times and in all seasons of the year. He's excited, he loves to live life, and he loves to drive race-winning sprint cars. And that is exactly what he's done here early and often in 2025 with Kubota High Limit Racing. And all across the board, he's going to make his way around the front of this shoprico.com. Rico Abreu Racing number 24. He's got Swan Island Sheet Metal Works and ArcZone.com on the side of it, as well as a bunch of other great partners. Ladies and gentlemen, he can hear you. He's your winner, Rico Abreu. Hey, you going to give anybody else a chance here in this Roto-Rooter midweek deal? That is 3 for 3. You're batting 1,000 on the midweek races.
Just incredible to get the opportunity to race midweek, to get to race against the best in the business. You know, I know how good Paul Silva gets that car for Kyle Larson, and you know, when you square up just against them guys, you know, you got to hit your mark. So, you know, taking off on the inside row was definitely an advantage. I just knew, you know, if I could just stick the bottom off of 2, and Ricky Warner got to work on my car there at that open red flag, and we made a few adjustments. They got the ground clearance really good in this thing for the feature. So I'm just very fortunate to be racing with some incredible partners. You know, with Waste Connections, we had 100 employees here tonight, you know, in this general area here of Wisconsin, and just the racing in Wisconsin, what it produces. You know, just thankful High Limit got a race here. Pacific Boring, Waste Connections, Royal Jones, Rich Stadelhofer. You know, we got Spankins Motorsports here from Wisconsin. You know, it's just all these people get involved with this team, and it just creates some really incredible stuff.
I'm telling you, when you took the lead for the first time away from Larson, I'm wearing these headphones, the field's coming by the starter stand, and I could still hear this front stretch grandstand get loud for you. What do you got to say to these Badger State fans?
We're just very fortunate to get the opportunity to race here. You know, Wisconsin has the best fans. We really enjoy getting to come up here and race. Just the whole sport is doing so great right now. The racing's really exciting. You know, you got guys coming from NASCAR to come compete against. You know, this is end up being, I'd say, the toughest racing in the world. The fastest pace, the most grueling. You know, these race teams are traveling up and down the road, running 80 times a year. You know, 2 weekdays. We got 5 races in a row this week for us sprint car drivers. So it's just really, really exciting to be a part of it all right now.
You are a high roller. You've won for the 5th time here in 2025 with Kubota High Limit Racing. That means you get to send $1,000 of our angel donors' money who partners with the series to any charity you choose to support. With your win tonight, where are you sending High Limit Racing's angel donors' money?
I'm going to send it to Jackson Superhero Foundation, part of the Win Warriors. It, you know, specializes in just notoriety of muscular dystrophy. Our friend Jackson, associated with the Hunt family, who's a part of our race team, you know, has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and you know, it's something he was born with and has to deal with that throughout his life. And really the brand awareness around Jackson Superhero Foundation is to help other families going through similar situations. You know, if it's opening hallways for wheelchairs or just wheelchair access, you know, customizing vans for these people to be able just to be really comfortable in life.
You've just won in Wisconsin. How about we celebrate? Go get some cheese curds and spotted cow. What do you think?
Thank you. Thank all you fans, man. This is really incredible, and for come out. Is it a Tuesday? It's tonight a Tuesday?
I think it's a Wednesday, my man.
Wednesday night. You know, it's just really cool to see everybody tonight.
It's a winning Wednesday for Rico Abreu. Jake Ingram comes in with the Chasm Safety Technologies win box. Chasm Safety Technologies keeping drivers safe everywhere they go with Kubota High Limit Racing here in 2025 and beyond. Rico Abreu visits Whiskey Myers Victory Lane for the 5th time in 2025 as he continues to dominate the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series. Let's go upstairs to learn about our Contingency Award winners.
And I also wanted to mention that nobody is leaving. Everybody's hanging out to hear what our top 3 finishers have to say. The Wisconsin fans here in Menomonie are awesome. Here are our Contingency winners tonight. Our Race Routine Foundation Rookie of the Race was Daison Pursley. He finished up in the 8th spot, so nice job for him. Rookie of the Race, Daison Pursley. Our 2nd place finisher, Kyle Larson. He had the Jake's Golf Cart's fastest lap of the race award. He ran a 13.351 on lap number 6. And our hard charger of the main event here in this feature event was Spencer Bayston, 15th to 7th, plus 8 for him. Those are the Contingency Award winners, Tony.
I'm standing down here with our Jake's Golf Cart's fastest lap award winner and our 2nd place finisher. You almost broke the track record pushing Rico Abreu across the finish line here. If you don't have the lap traffic going down into turn 1 on the white flag lap, can you beat him?
It's racing, so you never really know. But yeah, I just didn't do a good job after that break. The top was just really dirty to fire off there on that restart, and I just spun kind of all the way through 1 and 2, and could kind of see his nose in the center, and he just got a big run down the back and slid me, and then just had to get kind of wound back up, but felt really, really good. Just I just struggled for a lap after the restarts there at the end, and then Tanner got a big run on me, and we got racing, and Rico got out to like a straightaway on us, and we were able to run him down really quickly, and just I don't know if you necessarily call it like ran out of time, but just probably needed to get there just a little sooner, honestly, before we caught traffic. But my car felt great. Would have obviously loved to gotten a win, but Rico just did a really good job, as he has been all year. So it's awesome to see the 24 team running good, but we wanted to win that one.
I saw under the red flag at the back straightaway, Kevin Rudine got to stop and talk with you, and you guys shared pleasantries after Justin Peck falling out of this race. We, on the other hand, got to talk to Tanner Thorson. He said he thought this race would end with you guys up there at the front, you Red Bluff Outlaws, racing each other like men. Is that what high-limit racing is these days, a bunch of hard-working race car drivers racing each other with respect?
Yeah, I think so. I think high limit racing always puts on really exciting, fun races. I just think the average age is probably a lot younger than some of the other series, and the tracks that we're going to are really exciting. So Red Cedar was awesome surface, awesome shape, great banking, just a really, really great track. You couldn't ask for much more there. It was on the fence, real thin strip around the bottom. You can kind of work the crumbs a little bit in the center. So yeah, just a great track. So just thanks to my sponsors, Finley Farms, FloRacing, HinderCars.com, Fulcrum Brothers, Roto-Rooter. Cool to get a midweek race in. The weather's been killing them. Durst, Glenn Stiers, JVI Group, everybody who helps out on this thing. So yeah, just got tomorrow night at 141, and hopefully it would be one spot better.
He's rocking the Roto-Rooter colors. Kyle Larson comes home 2nd at Roto-Rooter Midweek, race number 3. You will see him tomorrow night at the Race Routine Foundation event at 141 Speedway. Tanner Thorson, first of all, we got to thank you for the in-race interview there. That was fun. We don't get that opportunity. We'll schedule one of those every race for the rest of the season. I'm sure you're cool with that. You match your best ever full field finish with Kubota High Limit Racing with a 3rd. How tough was it deciding what to do with 2 guys like that in front of you?
Yeah, it just comes down to who's got the better car, right? So we got a little bit of work to do. I feel like we're, gaining a lot, and I feel like everybody kind of sees it too. So it's comfortable, and I'm happy with it. So just got to keep building here. We kind of I got spooked a little bit on that last restart where Larson went early, and it just kind of screwed up my whole rhythm for that last run. So yeah, hats off to my guys. We've been working hard. Thank you, Stevie Smith. I'm sure you're watching. He's been basically crew chief in this thing from the phone, and it's helped the last 2 weeks. So can't thank him enough, and all of our sponsors and everybody that's been a part of this thing. And thanks, Rod and Nancy back home. We're getting better and better, so it's fun.
You certainly are, and I think you're right. Everybody is seeing it. Tanner Thorson takes the Rod Gross Motorsports and the ritual to a third-place finish. Learned about that. Look it up if you want. It's a different type of book, is all I'll say. Tanner Thorson stands on the podium, matches his season or his career best finish with Kubota High Limit Racing. He went third at East Bay Raceway Park all the way back on race 1, back at the start of 2024. He does that here tonight. Kyle Larson ends up battling it out on the losing end against Rico Abreu. But man, Chase, you nailed it, right? Look at the crowd here. They're now just finally getting up and out of their seats, heading out of this place. It was a slam-packed house. Everywhere we go lately with Kubota High Limit Racing, the crowds show up big time, and I think they were treated to a fantastic race here tonight.